we are live. Hey everybody, welcome back to DanPrattles, the stream that contains adult language and childish behavior. My name is Dan, welcome to the stream. Welcome to you on this Monday afternoon where I am, but wherever you are in the world, hello. I hope you're having, regardless of the time, I hope you're having the time of your lives. Hey, if it's your first time to the stream, oh my word, big old stonking welcome. This is the stream that I have Monday to Friday, 1 hour every day, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. South African +2 time, and I just play a little game, play some games, talk some nonsense, and cordially invite you. And that is my notifications. God damn, you think I'd know by now? You can tell this is a professional setup. Once again, an email from YouTube saying I'm streaming. Thanks. Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, with that technical snafu out the way, let's get on with things. Hey, I'm going to play some Conan today. It's Monday, so I've decided, well, Monday's potentially going to be History Day. Just checking that the stream's wibbly-wobbling all over the place. Oh, I hope my internet holds. Had some load shedding earlier, for those of you who are not in South Africa. That's state-mandated power cuts. Not fun. Not fun. Terrible for getting terribly sick. Thought I was over it, and then all of a sudden over the weekend, boosh, sinus infection. So that's not a vibe, as the kids would say. But you know what? It's all good. Okay, getting everything squared away. Am I making sounds? I am making sounds. OBS is behaving. YouTube is behaving. I hope you're behaving. Just kidding. You do you. You do you. Let's get on with this. Let's get on with this. Okay. Stream looks good. Looks great. Damn straight. Let's carry on. Where were we? It's been a whole weekend since we were last here at Sweaty Boat Inc. with our man, Sweaty Boat Man. Let's see what's going on here. What's that? A new hire? Hey there. How's it going, McGee? Are you hanging in there? Oh, I hope so. Got a new tanner. Delightful. Delightful. Handy for producing leather goods. Leather. Got a gal over here, Tiny Dancer. Tiny Dancer. Yep. Any day now, she's going to hit those bongos in the middle of the night, wake me up, and I'm going to be like, ooh, regret my hiring choices. But you know what? You know what? She's good. She could stay for now. Let's check in on old Scully over here. Hey, hey. Look at that. The old skullet over there. Yeah. Party at the back and very little on the top. It's coming together, hey? It's coming together for a temporary arrangement. This place is, yeah. Got all the amenities. Here, spared no expense. All right. What are we doing today in terms of the game? Well, we've got ourselves a new chapo over here. This is Baina, because I've got a weird sense of humor. Let's not get into that. Could get me into trouble. But anyway. Oh, it's not what you think. It's the opposite of hyena. You know, hi, bye. What were you thinking? I'm watching you. Anyway. Shall I go murder some locals? Let's start things off with some good old-fashioned murder. You know, my sword hand is itchy. Go and see what's going on at the various camps. Because you never know. Never know. Instead of murder, I might just hire some new employees. Yes. Fill out the ranks a bit. Checky stream. Yeah. Holding. Everything's holding. Hey, how was your weekend? Have a good one? Get up to anything interesting? Did you have a party? Did you take it easy? Oh, look, there's a crocky over there. Oh, he looks like he's angry. I ate the locals. Those were my potential hires, you bloody bastard. Oh well. Nothing in their pockets of note. Oh, look at this chap. Hi. Oh, Kushite exile. No, don't need any fighters. I'm a lover, not a fighter. There you go. Point proven. So, first camp of the day. Not a lot of hiring opportunities. Oh well, but I will not be deterred. You know what, if we're going to be a growing organization here in the exiled lands, we've got to keep our options open. Cast the net wide. So let's see if there are more people we can get in. Hey, stick around until about the 10-15 minute mark. Going to have a prattle, going to have a banter topic, and yeah, you know what? Let's get the big hits out the way. The biggest stories in history. You know, one of the most prominent battles that just about everybody knows about. And we can have just like a little chat about it. Get into it a bit. Yay! You know what I'm talking about. Well, if you saw the title of today's stream, you already know. Clever people you are. Speaking of, got a thumbnail on this one today. That's right. People had nagging me saying, oh, you need to put thumbnails on your streams. Well, I did. And can I just say, that's the most low-effort fucking thumbnail I've ever created in my life. That the YouTubers have ever seen. But you know what? It's there. So where? Alright, let's keep looking around. Let's keep sniffing around for new hires. There was an island that was here, wasn't there? No? Was it on that side? Oh, I get so turned around. Oh well. Come on, Chabo, let's see if we can find some locals. Is the game a touch soft in the audio department? Don't want it to be too soft. Or maybe it's because my... let's crank up a bit of volume over here. There we go. There we go. Just had to fiddle with some knobs to get things copacetic. There we go. Sweet sounds of the game coming into my earballs. Now leave him alone. Not hurting anyone. You know what? No need to have... Oh! Danger music. Danger music. They're after me. Look at that. But you are no match for my big sword. Oh. The shellbacks keep coming. Oh, look at that. Oh, goodness me. They mean business. Fortunately. So do I. You're dead, I'm not. That's a win. Let's do a little skinning, shall we? Hey, get the old skinning knife out. Harvest meat from a corpse. Pretty certain I've already done that game. A little late to the party. Janky game is janky. Oh well. Check on the stream, checky stream, checky stream. There we go. Don't want to be in a situation like the other time. I'm gabbing away and the old microphone is off. Boomer maneuver, that one. But you know what? I'm prepared this time. I am prepared. Well, as prepared as I can be. Most of this I'm just winging. Talking nonsense. You see, I don't want to take Baina with me because I just now run into a new hire, and, well, the animal companions here are a little zealous. They do like to bite the locals. And then there's a lawsuit, and then the company's in trouble, and it's bad press all around. Hard to get new hires when, you know, people are afraid they're going to get bitten by hyenas. Bloody PR nightmare. Oh well. So for now, I'm leaving the pooch at home. Off chance I find someone that's worthy of joining the organization. Checky stream. There we go. Ah, balls. I left my drink in the kitchen. Not as prepared as I thought. Oh well. Something to look forward to. Probably not going to be a long one today, boys and girls. Don't know if the electricity is going to hold. Thanks, ESCOM. And also, as I said, still fighting something. Now it's all up in my face. You know when you get a sinus infection, Feels like you've gone several rounds. Tyson. Like, oh, booshed in the face. Oh well. Speaking of a boosh in the face, there we go. Teach you, you varmint. Savoury flesh. I do enjoy me some savoury flesh. Let's carry on. Moving along. I want to keep this YouTube window open because just now I get a notification saying your stream is cocked. And I'm like, oh no. But onward. Ah dear, and the sun's going down as well. Hello. Oh, who are you? Would you like a brochure? No? Oh, shit. No, he's cross. Must be with that dagger shit. No, no, no. Oh, don't do that. No, well. Security, see this one to the door. Look at you. Well, that guy took his time getting up. Look at you with your skirt over there, flapping in the breeze. I like your drip, girl. Your attitude, less so much. So, oh dear, oh dear. Brutal. Oh, I was hoping that, that Saron would be in her inventory. But no Sarong for me. Oh, he's got pelts though. Look at this chap. Grab your bow. You're not going to need it. Oh my god. Too much to drink, my friend. You're utterly legless. How are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? 12 minutes in. Give it a few more minutes so we can chat. Chat history. Specifically, one of the most lauded battles ever recorded. And turned into a ridiculous movie as well. Oh, good God. That Snyder chap, he's a bloody curse. Oh. Throaty death for him. Who are you chaps? I've got an archer up ahead. Another dancer. You know what? We're all stocked up on dancers. Terribly sorry. It's a no from me. Oh, you just gave up. You're like, you know what? You got this. Down he goes. Now, what have you learned? Oh, not much. What's this? Feathers. Oh, okay. Stuff that into a cushion. Make a nice stuffed cushion. Oh, look, there's another camp over there. Grab some of these here eggs. Do love good air. Oh, speaking of which, let's have a quick nosh. Got to keep our man topped up. Yeah. Let's see if anybody's home. Don't mind me, just popping in for some brown sugar. Level 1 blacksmith. No. I mean, I appreciate you applying, but come back when things are a little bit more open for an internship. I'm prepared to take you on. Look at that. So hard to find decent help nowadays, truly. Oh well. The quest continues. Oh! What's in the box? Let's see. Huh? Bedroll, handy. Nice jug. Do appreciate some nice jugs. And rough wraps. And I'll take the potion. Should have kept that on you, chappos. If you're expecting a fight, have your potions in your pockets. They're good in the chest. See? Professional at this. I've done this before. Alright. Alright, let's wend our way home and we can get into today's topic, shall we? The much lauded and spoken of Battle of Thermopylae. 480 BC. Phew, that was a while ago, wasn't it? What was happening in 480 BC? Well, that chapo Xerxes, head of the Persians, he had his eye on Greece. Mostly because he had his eye on the rest of the world. And kind of world domination's a bit of a theme for, kings of that time. But specifically for Xerxes, he had it in for the Greeks, because 10 years earlier, his dad, King Darius, I think his title was King Darius, king of everything. Not everything, though. Not of Greece. Got his backside handed to him at the Battle of Marathon. Was it Marathon? I believe it was. So 10 years earlier, King Darius of Persia tried to take on the Greeks. Didn't end well. So, someone's angry. Oh, hang on, let me just take care of my... No, not Scully. Oh, look, Tiny Dancer's in on this. Shh. Nicely done, team. Nicely done. Taking care of the home side. Shellback's getting uppity. Anyway. So, King Xerxes had it in for the Greeks. Didn't fancy what they did to his dad. Made a bit of a tool out of him. And thought, you know what? Daddy got it wrong. I'm going to get it right. So he thought to himself, he thunk to himself, okay, what's the best way to take on these Greeks? What's the tactic? I know a buttload of men. That was his thing. That was his thing. He was like, I think I know what I need to do to get on with the Greeks. So let me check here. 480 BC. There we go. I'm a bit of a tool, though. I should have actually brought my specs. If I'm going to check my notes, I might as well... Anyway. Bear with me as I sort of like squint my way through this, guys. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Most of us already know. Interesting bits and bobs. First of all, when Xerxes decided to take on Greece again, he made no bones about it. He marched through the top of what was then the European continent towards Greece and made no bones about hiding it. Doing incredible things like for fjording and sections of sea, instead of relying on boats, he would create things like these massive pontoons, these bridges that he could pass over. Fantastic. And taking over 100,000 men over to Greece. Of course, well, that's going to set off some warning bells. So the Greeks, they headed off. Especially the Athenians were the ones that were mostly worried about this. And they went to the rest of the Greeks and said, "Oi, Persians coming, doesn't look good. What are we going to do about it?" Well, fortunately, most of the Greeks, they didn't really care. You see, they'd be fighting amongst themselves, general bickering, and they weren't interested in coming together to face these Persians. Some even rolled over and said, you know what, maybe we should give these Persians a try. I mean, they're coming with like an army of over 100,000. Do we really want to fight them? But eventually the Athenians got through to the Spartans, and the Spartans were like, no, we need to do something about this. This is a real threat. And most of the other Greeks were like, we don't want to fight. We're fighting amongst ourselves. Also, this was right about the middle of the year, and heading towards the time where they would have their Olympic Games. And so they're like, no, we rather train our athletes than fight. So the rest of the Greek city-states were not helpful in this. But the Spartans decided, you know what, we're going to step in. And the Athenians were, well, thank goodness, you guys can handle yourselves in a ruck. So what they did is, they put together, as the story goes, 300 of some of their best warriors under one of the kings of Sparta, Leonidas. There was another king, Leotychides, who didn't go for two reasons. He was more in charge of the navy. He was more in charge of the naval presence, and also he was younger. What a lot of people don't realize about the Battle of Thermopylae, or Leonidas, he was pushing 60 at the time of the battle. He was no spring chicken. So he was like, you know what? This is a do-or-die situation. If I die, it's A-okay. I'm on my way out. And accordingly, he picked his 300 men based on that. He picked the older warriors, warriors that were fathers, that already had sons, and he got those 300 together. And he said, right, we're off. And the Athenians said, don't worry, we'll send you some. And it wasn't just the 300 Spartans, not like the movie has. There were about 5,000 Athenians that went with them, Phocians as well, about 1,000 of them, Thebans and Thespians. Thespians, did you say? That's right, the theatre kids got involved. Anyway, they got stuck into things. And they decided, you know what, the best way that we're going to handle this massive army is that we need to find a bottleneck. We need to find a place to fight them. So they went to the north of Greece, to the pass of Thermopylae, the Hot Gates. And it was called the Hot Gates because that particular pass was in a limestone mountain full of hot springs. And the bubbling springs and the steam and the smell of sulfur, it literally had the feel of the gates of hell about it. And that's where they decided, that's where we're going to have our stand. So with this mountain on the one side of them, the Aegean Sea on the other, they thought this was where they're going to make the stand. And this worked for the Athenians as well, because they thought, you know what, because it's close to the sea, we can keep our navy on standby, so we can force the Persians to keep marching, so they don't rely on their navy to try and circumvent this force. And that's when Leonidas decided that's where they're going to make their stand. However, once they had set up there, once they had sort of like dug in their heels, when the army arrived, they saw this over 100,000 army, and the Phocians were they were skitty about this. They weren't happy about this army, and they looked as if they were going to rout it. And Leonidas said to them, look, tell you what, there's this pass behind us. It's important, but you need to keep an eye on it. This they call it the Anopia Pass. That was the only weak spot that they had. You guys keep an eye on this, guard it. We'll handle the bottleneck. We'll be at the tip of the spear here. And so, all right. So off the Phocians buggered off. There was about 1,000 of them. And when the Persian army arrived, Xerxes was a little taken aback. It was like, they sent such a small force to take them on. Doesn't seem right. So he suspected something was up. So when he arrived, he waited another 4 days or so for the rest of his army to catch up. And also he wanted the extent of his army known to the Greeks. So he waited for them to sort of like come on in. And then after those 4 days, he sent an emissary out to Leonidas and said, look, we've got this massive army, handful of you, let us through, all's well. Leonidas says, take your offer, stick it up your backside, we had a fight. Spartans, right? And on the first day, Xerxes realized just how precarious the situation was, because even though there was a tiny force of Greeks, because of the bending path of Thermopylae, the sea on one side and the sheer mountain cliffs on the other, he had the perfect space to set up his defenses. And that's what he did. He dug in. And initially, Xerxes thought, I'm going to send my rank and file guys to just like clear these guys out. I'm not going to send my best of the best. Cavalry was off the field. Cavalry was not an option because there was no room to charge. Thermopylae, the gap that they occupied was about 50 meters wide. So there was no ways they could really utilize cavalry properly, and also because of the bend in the pathing, sent up foot soldiers instead. The rank and file of the Persians didn't know what they were in for. Because as they rounded, there were the Spartans in full phalanx position. Spartans had those great big iron shields with long spears, and they set up a phalanx there. The Persians weren't exactly kitted out, though, because there were so many of them. They didn't have the best gear. I'm talking about, spears and arrows made out of reeds, and armor and shields that were practically wicker. Not the best thing to have when you're up against an enemy army that's using iron weapons. Well, so there they were, charging in on them. And they could not breach that phalanx. Day one did not go well. Nearly close to about 10,000 Persians fell upon the Spartans. And it must have been terrifying. Because as that phalanx pushed forward, they could either knock them into the sea or pin them against the mountain. And when those spears fly out from behind those shields, doesn't end well for any attacker. When Xerxes heard about this, obviously not happy. For the second day, he decided, you know what, I'm going to send in my best. This Leonidas guy, got to go down. So he sent in his immortals, these elite troops, known as the immortals because they were so numerous, and there's so many clamoring to be in their ranks. As soon as one died, another fell in. God, I'm just getting hit with all my notifications. Fuck. Turn that off. Really, it's amateur hour here, in spite of my most amazing thumbnail. Fuck. Oh well. Oh well, guys. Get that out of the way. The thing about the Immortals, though, they were incredible one-on-one warriors. Great single combat fighters. Not the best soldiers, though. Very little discipline on the field. And they threw themselves against the phalanxes. Same results. So naturally, of course, let's turn my notifications off properly. So naturally, of course, Xerxes at this point was losing his mind. For a god king, as he professed himself to be, he was throwing tantrums, he was just out of his mind, not able to figure out how such a small detachment of these Greek warriors were holding off his vast army. It was at that point where Ephialtes, and not the shrunken hunchback guy from the movie 300, but he was just a shepherd, petitioned to see the king and said, listen, I don't fancy having armies in my, in my grazing areas. I would rather see you guys move on. There's a way around. Give me a lot of money and I'll show you. And he was like, oh, absolutely. And Ephialtes showed where this sort of side entrance is. It was at that point when the Phocians that were guarding there put up little resistance. When they realized the jig was up, the secret passage was discovered, they saw the Persians coming, they didn't even really put up a fight. They were like, oh, no, jig's up, we're out, and they ran. And when the Spartans realized this, they knew, oh, their time was nearly up, and they needed to make a plan. So they fell back to where the exit of the pass that had been discovered, and they set up there. And they sent all non-Spartans away at this point. They said, look, we've done what we needed to do. The primary thing we needed to do, this wasn't about winning the day. This was buying enough time for the rest of Greece to realize the magnitude of the threat we're facing. You guys need to get out of here. And so they all scattered. There was one Greek, though. There was one Spartan that got sent back. A soldier by the name of Aristodemus. And he was either gravely wounded or terribly sick. But Leonidas said to him, I don't trust the rest of these non-Spartans to tell the story of what happened here. I need you to go back to Sparta and say what's happened here, how we stood. And he was dead against this. He was like, if I go back, and I haven't, fought and died by your side, I'll be an outcast. And he says, you need to carry that, because you're the only one I can trust to tell the story. It needs to come from a Spartan. So Aristodemus went back. Leonidas had his final stand there. And they fought tooth and nail at the pass, but they didn't have the open, they had far more open ground here, so they could be flanked. And in pitched battle, stray arrow came out of nowhere, took out Leonidas. The irony being is that before the battle, before even going there, Leonidas went to the Oracle of Delphi and petitioned for an outcome. And it was said there, either a king of Sparta will fall, or the whole of Sparta will fall. So in a way it was foretold. The rest of his men fought tooth and nail there. When Aristodemus made it back to Sparta, of course, he was branded a coward. But he was able to at least tell what had happened there and made enough of a case. And, well, the rest of the Greeks heeded this word and were able to rally and had bought enough time to realize that the threat was real. But don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad for Aristodemus, because he managed to reclaim a lot of his honor a year later. Because although he was sort of stripped of his sort of civil rank at Sparta, the Battle of Plataea against the Persians 1 year later, he was allowed to fight. He charged into battle. He died his hero's death. Pretty epic stuff. And because of the sacrifice of those 300 Spartans, it bought the time the Greeks needed to understand and mobilize for the threat that they faced. And beat the Persians off. They didn't beat the Persians off, they sent them off. And get your mind out the gutter. Stop it. Poof. There's several cool things that came out of that. Once again, checking notes. There is at the end of the battle, and when the Persians had been driven off enough, a statue was erected at the site of the battle, this massive stone lion, and there was an epitaph that was written on it. And it said, "Go tell the Spartans, thou that passed by, that here, obedient to their words, we lie." It's pretty hectic stuff. But it also puts me in mind of another quote, a more contemporary, recent day quote, inspired by the battle. It comes from a pretty decent guy with words by the name of C.S. Lewis. One of my all-time favorite quotes that he has is, "Men propound mathematical theorems in besieged cities, conduct metaphysical arguments in condemned cells, make jokes on the scaffold, discuss a new poem while advancing on the walls of Quebec, and comb their hair at Thermopylae. This is not panache, it's our nature." Before going into battle, the Spartans would groom each other. They would comb their hair, check each other's armor, other things as well. But they were very particular about their appearances going into battle, because they were perfectly aware that that might be their last day on this mortal earth. And if they were going to go, they were going to go in style. And I think that's pretty stylish. I think the Battle of Thermopylae is a hell of a way to go. Great story. Often a little bit bastardized because of entertainment. But I think it's pretty neat. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that story. Speaking of stories, let's see what's going on in this game. Check your stream, check your stream. Oh, that dog's going off. Can you hear it? Sure. Oh gosh, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to wend my way to bed now, because as much as I have kept my word, as the Spartans did, I think I'm good for today. Hopefully, with enough Mooty in me, I'll be fighting fit tomorrow. We can do this all again. Oh, Tuesday we can talk books, I think. Let's have a talk about books, what you're reading and whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed today's little history bit. Oh. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dan. I stream Monday to Fridays, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., usually when I'm not dying here. Thank you for joining me. And I'll catch you all. And you all take care. You all stay well. And I will see you in the next one. Arrivederci.